I'm Jerry Herbst, and we're going to drill down to the brass tacks and hard facts on nozzle evaluation. Some of the more common points of comparison people refer to when they're doing nozzle evaluations is flow, reach, and maneuverability. While those are the three key components to performance criteria, there's a whole bunch more that needs to be considered. Most fire departments that are doing evaluations, their primary objective is to increase their attack profile, get the ability to flow a little bit more water, but have it manageable for their personnel. In a lot of cases, they may be making a radical switch from 100 PSI to a 50 PSI or a low pressure type delivery system. Most of the American fire service is trying to move towards a higher flow, lower pressure because it relates to an easier nozzle reaction to deal with. And that's the area in your evaluation where you need to do a deep dive. It's the intersection and complete understanding of the relationship between pressure, flow, and nozzle reaction. In many cases, a lot of the fire service can be pressure obsessed and flow ignorant. We all understand that pressure doesn't put out fire, flow does. So we've got to get to the point where that delivery system makes sense across the board. A good analogy I use when I'm teaching this type of thing is the difference between pressure and volume. We could have an LDH supply, or 4 or 5 inch with nothing on the end of it, flowing a large volume of water, just chugging out water. That's high volume at a low pressure. On the other end of the spectrum, you could have an old booster line, which is extremely low flow but high pressure. We've got to find a medium that works on an interior attack package that's manageable by our firefighters. I refer to the acronym of CPR a lot when I'm teaching, and in this case it means the confidence to pursue reality. The reality of the situation is you've got to get an attack profile and reality that's manageable by one firefighter. We encourage the use of 2, but just about everybody's had to make a stretch and start flowing water by themselves. So you have to design a package that's realistic enough where it can be managed by a single firefighter at adequate flow. To get there, I recommend a 4F approach. It really simplifies things as you're doing your evaluations. The first and foremost thing you should always be looking for is target flow. Establish a target flow objective and then design your evaluation and equipment package to support that flow. So the first F is flow. The second would be functionality. What do I want my equipment to do? I want a fog nozzle. I want a smoothbore nozzle. You can have both. That leads us to the third F, which is the form. What form is the equipment going to take? Is it going to be a full nozzle? Is it going to be a break apart with dual capability, making a multitasker out of a unitasker? There's a lot of choices to be made. The fourth F I refer to as frosting. That's, do I want it to be colored? Do I want pistol grips? Do I not? Do I want a glow-in-the-dark bumper? These things aren't primary purchasing objectives, but unfortunately a lot of times they're what drive the decision. We support with these videos a deeper dive into the system components that are primarily designed to protect the firefighter, and that is the flow and the function and the form of the equipment. The reality of the situation is this: we may be working by ourselves, so that attack package has to be manageable by one firefighter, but it has to be effective from a flow standpoint. And that's where we get into our comparison. We always go back to flow and reach and maneuverability. Maneuverability is absolutely critical. You can buy nozzle equipment that'll flow huge amounts of water. It does no good if your personnel can't hold on to it. That's why we need to do an in-depth evaluation of the relationship between pressure, gallons per minute, and nozzle reaction. The entire system has to support effective flow manageable by one firefighter. The process we've talked about can be intimidating. This video series is designed to be a resource to break it down to the components of the system and make it a little bit more realistic to accomplish the objective. Those are the brass tacks and hard facts of nozzle evaluation.